Hi, Mystery Recapped here. Today, I am going to explain an American supernatural horror film called Carrie. Spoilers ahead, watch out, and take care. Margaret White is a deluded religious fanatic who thinks everything is sinful, especially if it is related to women, their bodies, and sex. In the opening scene, she is on her bloodied bed, screaming in pain and asking God to forgive her sins. She is so unmindful of the real world that she thinks she is dying of cancer, when in reality, she's just in labor. When the pain finally subsides, she looks in between her legs and freezes in shock to see a newborn baby girl. Margaret thinks that the infant is the result of the sin she committed with her former husband. She brings out a pair of scissors, getting ready to murder the baby, but cannot bring herself to do it. The little girl is named Carrie. Over the years, Margaret forces her religious beliefs on Carrie and doesn't give her any freedom at all. She restricts her from making friends, talking to men, and doesn't let her go to school for most of her life. When Carrie turns 16, however, children's rights activists forcefully make Margaret let her daughter go to high school. However, because of her antisocial and introverted nature, Carrie is always made fun of. She never talks to anyone and stares in shock when girls show cleavage or couples kiss. The concept of dating is foreign to her. One day, while the students are playing water volleyball, Carrie accidentally hits the popular girl, Sue, in the head. Sue's friend, Chris, makes fun of Carrie, and everyone laughs at her. After the class, they go to the shower room to change. Carrie gets her first period while showering and starts to panic. She has never been taught about periods, or anything that has to do with female anatomy. The blood running down her legs makes her think she is dying of an illness. She runs around, frantically asking the girls for help. Chris realizes that Carrie doesn't understand what menstruation is, and makes fun of her. Soon, all the other girls join in and throw tampons at her while filming her crying. Sue feels bad for Carrie, but doesn't stop the girls, scared to be declared an outcast like her. They only stop when the gym teacher, Miss Desjardins, arrives there. Carrie starts having a panic attack, screaming and crying even after the girls stop. To calm her down, the teacher slaps her in the face. As the girls walk away, Carrie stares at the light bulb in anger, and it coincidentally shatters. When the principal is informed of the incident, he asks Miss Desjardins to punish the bullies as she wishes. He also tells Carrie to calm down because they have called her mother. However, the thought of her mother finding out she got her period makes her even more nervous. She hyperventilates, and a water cooler in the room shatters mysteriously. Sometime later, Margaret comes to pick up her daughter and sees Chris and her boyfriend Billy making out. She doesn't want such influence around her daughter and prays to God to show the spoiled kids the correct path to life. On the way home, Carrie asks Margaret why she never taught her about menstruation, but Margaret doesn't answer. Before getting out of the car, a neighbor kid calls Carrie a weirdo. She looks at him and makes him fall off of his bike. Similar strange things have been happening to her for the past few months, and she doesn't know why. Inside the house, Margaret is banging her head against the wall, apologizing to God for creating her daughter, who will someday sin as she sinned with her former husband. She even creates fake Bible verses to make Carrie believe that bleeding on a period is a sin, and she has become a sinner. Carrie knows that her mother is lying because Miss Desjardins explained everything about menstruation earlier. She retaliates that it is normal and every girl gets it. This makes Margaret knock her in the head with a Bible. She locks her inside a tiny praying closet, telling her to come out only when she has asked for forgiveness from God. Carrie yells in anger, which makes the door crack. She then lays eyes on a sculpture of Jesus that starts to bleed. Somewhere else, Sue and her boyfriend Tommy are in Tommy's Jeep. At his request, they make love in the car. After getting dressed, Sue tells him that she feels guilty for not helping Carrie in the shower room. Meanwhile, Chris is with her boyfriend Billy at her house. Unlike Sue, she shows no regret whatsoever, even though she was the one who initiated the bullying. To humiliate Carrie even more, she uploads the video of the incident to the internet. Back in the house, Margaret is calmly sewing clothes while singing songs. It is almost as if she has forgotten about what happened earlier with her daughter. She eventually lets Carrie out of the closet after confirming that she prayed to God. The next day at school, Miss Desjardins gathers Chris, Sue, along with all the other girls who were involved. As a punishment, they will have to do suicide sprints for an hour every day for the rest of the week. Anyone who disobeys will be denied access to the upcoming prom. Chris calls the punishment bullshit and challenges Miss Desjardins to make her stop from coming to prom. An enraged Miss Desjardins suspends her and revokes her prom privileges. Chris protests and tries to rally the other girls to join her, but no one supports her, not even her best friend Sue. In the meantime, the entire school has watched the video of Carrie getting bullied. They make fun of her and even go as far as to spray graffiti on her locker that says, "Carrie White eats shit." The bullies in these movies are never clever. Humiliated and filled with rage, she goes to the bathroom and concentrates on the mirror, which shatters because of her stare. Carrie finally begins to realize she has the power of psychokinesis, which means she can move objects and people using only her mind. To learn more about her power, she goes to the library and reads several books about psychokinesis. The report on it makes her believe that, like menstruation, having such power is also normal for some people. In the next class, she is called to the front of the classroom to read a poem. When she is done, Sue's boyfriend Tommy mutters an insult under his breath. But when asked to speak louder, he claims that Carrie's poem was awesome. Carrie is shocked and shy that a guy complimented her. Meanwhile, Chris calls her lawyer father to the school to try and overturn her revoked prom privileges. She plays the victim, accusing Miss Desjardins of verbally abusing her. To prove her wrong, Miss Desjardins asks for her phone that has the video of her bullying Carrie. However, Chris refuses to hand it over, proving that she is guilty. That night, Carrie tests her power by levitating books and her bed. Margaret hears a noise and comes upstairs with a knife to investigate. By then, Carrie is pretending to sleep, so she puts the knife down. The next day, Sue asks her boyfriend Tommy to take Carrie to the prom. She believes that Carrie deserves one night of fun and is ready to miss out on senior prom for her. Tommy wants to go with Sue, but on being insisted repeatedly, he agrees. Then he walks up to Carrie and asks her out to prom. A surprised Carrie thinks he is pranking her and runs away. Later, Miss Desjardins finds her crying in the locker room. When asked what is wrong, Carrie tells her about Tommy's proposal. The teacher supports Carrie, but she also knows that Tommy thinks of her as an outcast. She finds Sue and Tommy and warns them to rethink it if they are planning to humiliate Carrie. After school, Tommy drives to Carrie's house, much to her horror, because she doesn't want her mother to know she talks to boys. He declares that he will only leave if she agrees to go to prom with him. Carrie says yes, but under the condition that he will bring her home by 10:30 p.m. She is excited to finally be like the rest of the kids. To prepare for prom, she goes shopping, but none of the dresses are under her budget, so instead, she buys fabric to sew one herself. Chris sees Carrie shopping and is filled with rage. She, along with her friends, plan to play a prank on her at prom. Upon returning home, Carrie finds an angry Margaret waiting for her. She tells her mother that she is going to prom, but Margaret declares she won't allow her. Carrie grows frustrated and levitates things to release her anger. Margaret prays to God, assuming that the devil has taken over her daughter. Carrie asks her to stop talking, but Margaret prays even louder. Eventually, Carrie makes her mother levitate, making her go quiet. She releases her a while later, declaring that the conversation is over. Meanwhile, Chris and Billy are at a farm with their group of friends. They collect blood by slitting a pig's throat. Then, they break into the gymnasium, which is also the prom venue. They rig a pail with the pig blood, intending to dump it on Carrie when she is on stage. On prom night, Carrie gets ready and applies light makeup. She looks stunning, but is very nervous. Margaret asks her to dress modestly, but Carrie doesn't bother arguing with her. Margaret tells her daughter that everyone is going to laugh at her, which makes Carrie more nervous than she already is. She locks her mother in the praying closet before making her way out. Tommy is speechless when he sees her. They go to the prom hand in hand, and Tommy introduces her to his friends. Miss Desjardins also compliments her dress and asks her to have fun. With time, she loosens up and feels much more comfortable around Tommy. A while later, the two slow dance together. The night cannot get any better for Carrie, but then Billy and Chris break into the venue. They wait under the temporary stage to execute their plan. They have rigged the prom king and queen election to ensure that Carrie and Tommy are elected. When the couple climbs to the stage to receive the awards, they will drop the bucket of blood on Carrie. Before the election, Chris sends Sue a text that says they are about to humiliate Carrie. A horrified Sue races to the prom to stop her. Soon, Tommy and Carrie win the titles of prom king and queen. They are called to the stage as everyone applauds for them. Sue also gets to the building and sees Chris in the rafters, seconds away from dumping the blood on Carrie. Miss Desjardins sees Sue and thinks she is here to ruin the moment, so she locks her inside a room without listening to what she has to say. At last, Chris pulls the rope, dumping the blood on Carrie. She also hacks the monitor and plays the video from the day she got her period. Everyone laughs as Miss Desjardins comes forward to help her, but by now, Carrie has lost all rationality. She pushes Miss Desjardins back without touching her, and everyone gasps. Seconds later, the pail falls on Tommy's head, killing him instantly. Carrie loses control of her power and pushes the crowd away with a single scream. Chris and Billy manage to escape and get in their car. However, when the others try to run outside, Carrie locks all the doors and windows. Next, she throws the tables and chairs at the crowd, killing them one by one. She also holds some girls to the ground so they are killed after being trampled. The place lights on fire when she breaks the stage lights and electrical wires. She puts Miss Desjardins safely on the stage, but finishes off the rest of the crowd. She then flies outside, looking for Billy and Chris. They drive away in their car, but are chased by Carrie. Billy tries to run her over, but Carrie stops the car with her power, causing him to hit his head and die instantly. Chris tries to run over her again, but Carrie launches the vehicle into a gas station. She then watches as Chris dies slowly, stuck to the windshield. Following that, she goes home and notices her mother isn't in the praying closet. She bathes to clean off all the blood. Margaret finally appears in front of her, and Carrie hugs her mother, claiming that she was right about everyone making fun of her. Margaret still thinks that she is being punished for sinning with her husband and stabs Carrie with a butcher knife. Carrie tries to save herself, but Margaret goes into a frenzy and chases her into the kitchen. She pins Carrie down and is about to stab her again, but Carrie uses her power to stop her. She sends several sharp objects towards Margaret, crucifying her. Then she cries, holding her dying mother and regretting what she did. At last, she uses her power to destroy the house. Just then, Sue arrives at the house and tries to stop Carrie. She is about to kill her as well, but halts after realizing Sue is pregnant. Carrie smiles and claims that it is a girl. She sends Sue outside to save her from the falling ceiling. Moments later, Margaret and Carrie die under the collapsing house. Some months later, Sue is in the hospital bed screaming in pain while giving birth. Suddenly, a bloodied hand emerges from her, and she wakes up, realizing it was just a dream. Her mother comforts her as she hyperventilates, thinking that she is about to give birth to Carrie. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.